Greetings, Batavia Mayor Jeff Schielke speaking to you on Monday, February 20th, 2023. And I've got a couple of city announcements I need to make for the benefit of everybody in town. As many of you know, today is President's Day, and some businesses and governments have the day off. Others chose not to do it. In our case, we chose, at the request of the city employees a number of years ago, that we would work on President's Day, but then allow every employee to have a holiday at some point in time during the year that they could take at their choosing. So we're working today in the city of Batavia. That being said, we've gotten a lot of calls already today at the City Hall about, is this going to upset garbage pickup this week in Batavia? And the answer to that is no, it is not. You will have your garbage picked up on your regular day, whatever day and time that is. It's not going to change because of President's Day. So that's one that we wanted to make sure we shared with everybody. The second thing I wanted to share with everybody is that tonight at our city council meeting, we are going to be making a donation, $3,000 donation to the Batavia High School post-prom party, which is a party that's always hosted late at night, kind of overnight, down at Funway. And it allows all the kids that went to the prom to go to change into more easier clothes. And then they come down and have kind of a non-alcoholic party is the intention of this thing. And basically they stay till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and about 2:30, 3 o'clock, there is a drawing, and you have to be present at the party to be a recipient in the drawing. And there's a number of very nice prizes that are chosen, and it's all drawn by somebody special, whoever that may be. I have been down there in previous parties and have drawn the numbers. And what the party is that it's there, you have to stay, you have to be there present, and sometimes people get drawn their name and then they're not there, so they lose it. But we want you to keep you there and keep you away from alcohol, because you're a junior or senior in high school, and the laws don't allow you to drink. And so we're here to try to give you some other opportunities. And so a number of years ago, it was a decision of the city council that any fines that are levied in the city of Batavia by the liquor commissioner, which is myself, that money is then put into a special account. And at near the prom, we have somebody from the post-prom party, which is an adult parent generally, come to the city council meeting, and we give them the check of how much fine we have levied in the past year. This year it's over $3,000, so we're giving them a $3,000 check tonight, and they use that money then to buy these real nice presents that are used in the end of the evening when they're able to win a computer or Xbox or all this other nice stuff that kids want. But they have to stay at the party till in the morning, and then hopefully by that time they're tired and they want to go home and go to bed. So we're going to give the check tonight to the post-prom party. The police department will be there because they're the ones that kind of raise the money while their enforcement on liquor laws in Batavia are strictly enforced. And now with our cameras that we have on each officer, that really has proven to be a very solid way to prove what's going on, because we film what is generally happening when liquor law is violated. The next thing I want to share with you is many of you have heard, the city has issued a survey that we sent out here, I believe in November, to selected homes. I think it was 1 of every 5 homes got sent a letter that asked for your opinions on various ideas for Batavia. And we got a number of responses back on that, but we also I got certainly some requests from people who didn't get a letter that wanted to offer their sentiments. So we now have opened that up, and if you go onto the City of Batavia's webpage, there is a direct area where you can draw down, and we will arrange to send you the survey, and you can then fill it out and get it back to us. So we're interested to hear what everybody's got to say about where we should be going with Batavia's plans in the future. So that is now available to any Batavian that wants to fill it out and send it in. The next thing I'd like to just talk about is for the last 6 months or so, the City Council and the Library and the Batavia Historical Society and the Batavia Park District have been involved in a interesting project because we filed an application with the Dunham Fund in Aurora, and we received a $75,000 grant to produce a historic sign program for Batavia. And we are in the process of starting to make up the signs, and the $75,000 will pay for these very nice signs that'll be totally encased away from the weather, and they'll be placed at various locations throughout Batavia where something of some significant history has occurred. And just as an example of the types of things that we'll probably be doing, we're going to be talking about some of the historic churches and buildings in town and when they were built and what was kind of going on when that happened. We're going to be placing a sign down at Bellevue Place where Mary Todd Lincoln was a patient in 1875, and we'll tell about that event. And we're also in the process of working out the wording and discussing other things that we think we should have of note. And one thing that is I find very interesting is out on East Wilson Street, we've got a very unique run out there of famous awards. And starting at 713 East Wilson Street, we have the former home in the 1950s of the Myers family, whose daughter changed her name and became Jackie DeShannon. And she wrote a number of very famous songs, Put a Little Love in Your Heart and What the World Needs Now. And she was also the opening act for the Beatles' first 19-town tour of America in 1963, I believe it was. And she opened it up and kind of got the crowd warmed up, and then the four boys came on and did their thing. And so she won the Grammy Award in 1987 for all her work in music. So we got the Grammy Award. Then a couple blocks down the street in front of Bob Dazzo's towing service. Now Bob wasn't there in when was this? 1975, I guess it was. 20th Century Fox came to Batavia in that year and made scenes from a movie called Harry and Tonto, which I think you can probably find in the archives of many people that have movies. And in the movie, a lot of it was shot in the Fox Valley area, including quite a scene out at Redant and Wilson, where 20th Century Fox took over the old Feldot farm implement dealership and turned it into a Chevrolet used car lot. And in the movie, Art Carney, who was the star of the movie, and his cat Tano hitchhike and get to Batavia, and they get out of the car and they walk into this lot and they buy a car that he didn't know how to drive, which became later some of the rest of the movie. But later in the next year, Art Carney won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his portrayals in that movie. So we've got the Grammy Award in one block on East Wilson Street and the Academy Award 2 blocks further down the street. And then to kind of top it off, if you go out to East Wilson and Kirk Road, on the southeast corner of that intersection, if you know where the Speedway gas station is, across the street, there is a clump of trees. And in that clump of trees is a very nice home that was built by the folks who owned the property prior to Fermilab coming on and taking it over. And the house was so nice that the laboratory made the decision that they would turn that home in to the home of the executive director of Fermilab, whoever he or she is at the moment. And so in 1988, Leon Letterman was living in that house as the executive director of Fermilab when he won the Nobel Prize for Science. So on East Wilson Street in Batavia, in about a 7-block run, we've got the Grammy Award, the Academy Award, and the Nobel Prize. And so I think Batavia's got a lot to be proud of, and we'll probably be putting some signs out there talking about that as our program goes on here. So I think I've talked a little bit long today, but I just wanted to share some interesting tidbits about things that are happening in town. And I've got more to share with you in the weeks ahead, so please tune back in. But again, hope everybody has a nice week, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.